Hi, this is Dhruv,
And this is John.
and this is week 33 of the demo.
Yeah, so this week we did a lot of VR project, but very little Eduardo. So we're gonna do a quick update. And just question of the week will be, how do you guys orient yourself after you do finish when you're doing something else aside from your project? Are you guys doing the project for a hobby, or is it just something you guys do to relax and not trying to get anything anywhere? Regardless. So yeah, what did we do, Dhruv?
So this week, pretty much, we finished the VR project, setting up the VR. We talked to the people that are hiring us. They liked it, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've really done 3D, much less VR. So it's cool that we were able to figure it out.
Yeah.
And other than that, worked very little on Brave Eduardo, just for getting some screenshots and stuff for a Screenshot Saturday. But yeah, that's about
There
it.
were a lot of cleanups. I think Dhruv fixed quite a lot of bugs. He also added a little bit of thing that's most of the time when you're I wouldn't call it optimizing, but it's also small things anyways. For example, when you land, you don't roll as much like a madman when you're in the cave now. I think that looks pretty good. I also did go through most of the art, except the bear. I did go through all the art and I cleaned up most of the art with a bunch of white holes. So the ship is kind of the next thing we're going to be looking at. We do want the ship combat to be done. Oh, and the skills tree. And we did also remove all the stories since we're going to redo it. And then there's still a lot of small things here and there, but I do believe we'll have more time this coming month to work on it. I also went to a indie dev meetup earlier yesterday, and it was kind of nice seeing other prospective game developers trying to make it work. Very, very enthusiastic. And the only thing is I did kind of pour a bucket of water. I'm telling you, and yeah, it's gonna be 10% fun when you're designing, and 99% are boring work, and that adds up to 109%.
Yeah.
So that's good. Yeah. Go ahead.
So there's not. So that's pretty much like the only things for Eduardo. I wanted to start talking a little bit about kind of like the future of the game. Of Eduardo specifically. What we need to do, what our design, I think, is. So one thing that I've been looking at is other games a lot. I scroll through Twitter or Reddit or Instagram or whatever to just kind of see what there are general projects and which ones are doing well, at least the ones that are posting about it. And from what I've come across, it seems like most projects that get good kind of traction or whatever, it seems kind of random to me. It's very hard to be like, yeah, that's the one that does well. But I have seen that even the ones that get traction or the ones that don't, most of them follow like a similar formula. So let's say you have a game that's a top-down game. Every single top-down game pretty much that I've seen is the combat is exactly the same. There's a slashing mechanic, maybe there's a dashing and there's a jumping. There's very few that I've seen that are doing well. There's this one game called Kingdoms of Dumb Kings that I thought has a really unique mechanics and a really cool art style. You guys should check it out. They're on Kickstarter. And that generally speaking, that kind of got me thinking, like, what is it about Eduardo that we can really kind of show off, that we can distinguish ourselves from the rest of the people doing 2D games, there's 2D side-scrolling games, 2D platforming games.
So what makes Eduardo different?
What makes Eduardo unique? Yes, yeah. So what do you think?
I think from the conventions, the Colossus definitely is the main standout. The other one is the art style. Well, actually, no. I think art style, every art game's kind of art style is kind of different. I think the trading stuff people will kind of liked as well, but definitely I think the highlight has been Colossus. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. The cool thing is every single person says, "Whoa, that's Shadow of Colossus," but you don't really get to say that for most of the 2D games. So it does seem like we probably captured something that a lot of people have tried to make but haven't. That's definitely one thing. The other thing is how open the game feels, where you can quite literally go anywhere, but then you're also kind of locked off by honey. So I think those two are the thing that makes Eduardo different.
Yeah, so I think for us, definitely the number one thing is the Colossus. I agree with that. And I also think well, we haven't done it yet, but I think the pirate system would also distinguish us a lot from most 2D games. I specifically tried to look at 2D open world games, and there are people doing 2D open world games. But the difference is that most of the time when they do 2D open world, it's more like a Metroidvania type game, or it's very like still oriented around the classic RPG system of quests and side quests. So pretty much, I think we should wrap up soon. But pretty much generally we're thinking about Eduardo is we want to try to maybe make it more like really try to highlight its elements that are unique and try to make it more exciting. So hopefully you guys can see that in the upcoming weeks of the devlog. So stay tuned.
Yeah, sounds like the 3 pillars will have to really highlight that. But it's a shorter week, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.